सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। सर्वभूतेषु येनैकम् भावमव्ययमीक्षते अविभक्तम् विभक्तेषु तज्ज्ञानं विद्धि सात्विकम्। Vidhi, may you know, Satvikam Jnanam, the Sattvic knowledge. Tat, that to be, Yena, by which, Ikshate, one sees, Ekam, the non-dual, Avyayam, imperishable, Avibhaktam, undivided, bhavam, self, vibhakteshu, sarvabhuteshu, in all divided beings. Know sattvic knowledge to be that by which one sees the non-dual, imperishable and undivided self in all divided beings. Of these topics, knowledge, action and doer, Krishna Paramatma is talking about the first topic, namely Jnanam, knowledge. And he divides the knowledge into three, Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. In 20th verse, he defines Sattvic knowledge. 21st verse, he deals with Rajasic knowledge. 22nd, he dealt with Tamasic knowledge. And that too, the knowledge about oneself. How do I understand myself? Who is Jiva? Who am I? Based on the way I look at myself. I can say I have a Tamasic, Rajasic and Sattvic attitude. First, we will try to summarize the three types of knowledge independently, and then we will go to the verses proper. So initially when a person looks at himself, he sees only the physical body. That is nothing but natural. So he experiences his physical body alone. Other than the physical body, a person do not see anything. Therefore, he takes himself as the mortal body. The date of birth of the body is his date of birth. And the parents of that body will be the parents of the person. And the children born out of that body will be taken as his children. When the body is growing old, he says, I am growing old. The body finally dies. He considers that as his the final end, the end of the story. So this is the typical viewpoint, and this is called Dehatma Buddhi, looking upon oneself as the mortal body. Dehameva Atma. And this notion is further reinforced by scientists also. The scientist who analyzes the individual, he looks upon the individual as the body. And you ask the scientist, is there anything other than the body? He says, no, there is nothing other than the body. Because for science, only the physical body is important. And that is the anatomy. And the internal system is all physiology. So he deals with only the physical aspect of the body. So he will not talk about the Sushma Sariram. He will not talk about the Karana Sariram and so on. So this is what the Charvaka philosophy also, the materialistic philosophy. In that Charvaka philosophy, the Charvaka says, I am the body. The body's birth is my birth. Body's death is my death. Therefore, I am a mortal jiva. Not only I look upon myself as mortal jiva, I say there are many mortal jivas. This is how I look at myself as a Charvaka. So Paramatma says, this wonderful knowledge, which is so widely accepted, and this is called the Tamasika Jnana, Tamasa Jnana. So what we consider most rational, brilliant, scientific knowledge, Shastra says that is the Tamasic Jnana. This is delusion. Then what is the Rajasic Jnana, the second type of Jnana? A person having entered such a notion, he begins to study the scriptures. He himself gets a doubt whether I am a body only or whether there is something more than the body. Whether this is the only birth or do I have future birth? And did I have past birth? This doubt begins to come, and even he reads the newspaper, some people are remembering the past birth, and many books are coming with this kind of ideas. So, some child recollecting the past birth, all these things, we see in news items. In Shastra, it is confirmed that we have past birth. So, some people rarely remember their past birth, and they go to the place and also confirm. So, this is how people, they understand they have a rebirth. And again, we see some child prodigy. In the 5th year, some child will have knowledge of music. They sing well. Whereas the others are studying for 15 years, they are still in sapasa. Whereas this child, without learning, she can sing all songs with an expertise. So this is called the child prodigy. That means in the past Janma, they underwent this training and they happen to recollect all this, and they are able to perform this in this Janma. This is the child prodigy. So that means I am not the body. I am something or someone different from the body. From Sthula Sariram, I go to identify myself with Sushma Sariram, the astral body, the mind principle. And now my knowledge about myself has changed. Now I look upon myself as Jiva, different from the body. I have taken millions of the past birth, and in the normal course, I will take millions of future birth. Why I said normal course? Because we are not jnanis. We are now studying the Advaita philosophy, so we know we can stop this. Therefore, we are coming under a special case. We are slowly coming under the jnanis case. That means there won't be any future janmas. Birth, death cycle will not be there for us if we properly follow this path, the path that is suggested by Vedanta. So, this is only the body is only a tenement. I am not the owner. I am only tenement for this life. The parents of this birth are only parents for this birth. I had different parents in the past birth. I will have different parents in the future, if at all I am not liberated. So, this is about the Sushma Sariram. Sushma Sariram, the mind is continuing since so many janmas, and it will continue in future also. So, the Sushma Sariram is eternally continuing, whereas the Sthula Sariram will die. It will be either cremated or it will be burnt after the death. So this is the second type of thinking, that is, I am not the body, I am the Sushma Sariram, I am the mind. So from Sthula Sariram, the person shifts his identification to Sushma Sariram. This is a promotion, no doubt. This is a kind of a better thinking, undoubtedly. But this is not ultimate, because from a body level he has come to the mind level. This is also not to the final stage. So he has graduated from the very rudimentary stage to a mediocre stage in the Shastra. So at this stage he understands himself as the mind. So this mind is not born along with his body, but this is carrying it over so many janmas, and if he is not liberated in this janma, it will continue hereafter. The bodies may change. The body may not be human body. The bodies may change. Whatever the body he takes, but the same Sushma Sarira will be there in that body. So this is what we have to understand. Sariram yadavapnoti yachapyutkamati swara. So I am the Sushma Sarira Jiva who travels from body to body, loka to loka. Body is mortal, but the Sushma Sariram is not mortal. The Sushma Sariram doesn't die. The mind will not die. The mind of my previous Janma is the mind of the present Janma. The same mind will continue in the future Janma also. So, this is what we have to understand. So, we come along with these vasanas. That's why we have a particular characteristic behavior. So, our behavior depends on the vasanas we carry. So, though the children are born to the same parents, all the children, they behave differently because the vasanas they carry, they are not identical. So the knowledge that I am immortal as mind, I am immortal mind which survives the death of the body, which is invisible and which travels one body to another body. Vasamsi jirnani yadha vihaya. In Bhagavad Gita itself, in the second chapter we have learnt, like removing this dress and wearing some other new dress. The same way, I keep on removing the body and travel. So I am immortal, Sushma Sariram. The Sushma Sariram is also many in number because there are many minds. So previously I am Jiva, the body. So as a body I am a mortal person, but now I have graduated from that level, Dehatma Buddhi. Now I understand that I am the mind. The most people believe in the survival of all of us, and that's why they are worried about the Shraddham, Tarpanam and all that. And that is the reason our Shastras prescribe the Shraddha Kriyas and all that. So, because they strongly believe that they will survive, they go to different lokas and they perform Shraddham for their parents after death. And this knowledge Krishna Paramatma calls as Rajasika Jnanam. It is not Tamasika Jnanam. Tamasika Jnanam is Dehatma Buddhi. So mortal and many jivas is identified with Tamasika Jnanam, that is identifying myself with the body. When I identify myself with the mind and claim that I am immortal, there are many immortal jivas. From this standpoint of the mind, this is called Rajasika Jnanam. Rajasika Jnanam comes from Veda Purva Bhagam. Tamasika Jnanam comes from the worldly books, Laukika Jnanam, not from Veda Purva Bhaga. So this is what we have to understand. And then after remaining in this knowledge and having done lot of Tarpadam and Shraddham, we have to undergo this birth, death cycle, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, like that. He goes to Vedanta Bhaga. And from Vedanta, he improves that knowledge further. He knows that I am neither the body nor the mind, which is traveling. The mind which is Karta Bhokta, the mind which has got Vasanas, the mind which has got Sanchita, Agami and Prarabdha Karma. Even that mind I am not. Earlier what did he say? With the Laukika knowledge, with the knowledge of the mundane affairs, he said I am the body. So after coming to the Veda Purva Bhaga, he said I am the mind, which is traveling from one loka to another loka, changing the bodies. But then when he goes further and studies the Veda Anta Bhaga, he confirms, I am not even the mind. I am not the body, I am not the mind. Then who am I? I am the consciousness principle, which enlivens the body-mind sense complex, BMS complex. What type of consciousness? You have to remember the 5 consciousness principles. Consciousness is not part, product and property of the body. Consciousness is independent entity which enlivens the body-mind sense complex. Consciousness is not limited by the boundaries of the body-mind sense complex. Consciousness survives even after the fall of the body. And that surviving consciousness cannot be recognized. It is without transaction. But it exists. And how many such consciousnesses are there? That all-pervading consciousness is only one. When I come to Vedanta, I claim that I am not the body, I am not even the mind which travels after the death, but I am the consciousness which blesses not only this mind, this body, I am the consciousness which is behind all the bodies, all the minds. And that consciousness is Ekaha, Akarta, Abhokta, and this is the culmination of the self-knowledge. Self-knowledge has to grow in 3 levels. In the first level, I am the body. In the second level, I am the mind. In the third level, I am the consciousness. The first level is called Tamasika Jnana. The second level is called Rajasika Jnana. The third and the final level is called Sattvika Jnana. Krishna Paramatma is starting from the reverse level, Sattvik level, and he goes down. So now let us look at the first sloka. Sarvabhuteshu yenaikam bhavam avyayamikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tadjnanam viddhi sattvikam. So vibhakteshu sarvabhuteshu ekam bhavam ikshate, that knowledge by which one sees one consciousness, I. Bhava means reality. Here, the reality refers to the Chaitanya Tattvam, Atma Tattvam, Sat principle. And how many consciousnesses are there? Ekam Bhavam. What type of consciousness it is? Avyayam. The body continuously changes. Body undergoes Shadvikaras. They are Asti, Jayate, Vardhate, Viparinamate, Apakshiyate, Vinasyati. So the mind also continuously changes. When the body is growing old, the mind also becomes weaker. That is why we say, in those days I used to remember everything. Now I am not able to remember anything. So the reflexes also will go down as you grow old. So along with the body, mind also undergoes change. But this consciousness principle is avyayam, means nirvikaram. It will not undergo any change at all. It is only a witnessing consciousness, sakshi chaitanyam. A person sees one consciousness which is present in all living beings, sarvabhuteshu. That means only one consciousness is present in all bodies. The bodies are many, minds are many, but consciousness is only one. It is like bulbs are many, the filaments are many. Bulb represents the Stula Sariram, filament represents the Sushma Sariram. But the electricity is one. If the filament is not there, even though the electricity is there, bulb will not glow. So Sarvabhuteshu here, Bhuta means all bodies, Sarirams. What is the nature of the body? Vibhakteshu. Vibhakteshu means they are divided. My body is different from your body. My Sushma Sariram is different from your Sushma Sariram. My Sthula Sariram is different from your Sthula Sariram. So there is a lot of difference in the bodies. So every body is different from another body. They are separated by space. Therefore, the bodies are divided and separated. But consciousness is not divided. That means between the bodies, though there is a space, in that space also consciousness is there. The consciousness is not experienced because there is no medium to give the experience. It is like this. If I show my hand like this, you can feel the light. If I wide open my fingers, in between my fingers there is a space. But in between the space also the light is there. Because there is no medium to reflect it, the light is not experienced by us. In the same way, consciousness is all pervading, but it can be experienced only if there is a medium. So this is one thing we should understand. And this I, that Atma, am the space-like consciousness, the one who knows, he alone's got the sattvic knowledge. It is the toughest challenge to say that I am the space-like consciousness. Easy to say that I am the body. Next tougher one is I am not the body but I am the mind, which survives the death of the body, which is tougher. But I am the consciousness is the toughest thing. And that is called the sattvic jnanam. Paramatma says that jnanam sattvikam vidhi. In short, Advaita jnanam is called the sattvika jnanam. Then coming to the 21st sloka, Prudaktve tu yajnanam nana bhavan prudagvidan vetti sarveshu bhuteshu tajnanam vidhi rajasam. Vidhi, no. Rajasam jnanam, rajasic knowledge. Tat, to be that. Jnanam, yat jnanam, by which vetti, one sees. Prudagvidan, the apparently different. Nana bhavan, and many jivas. Sarveshu bhuteshu, in all beings. Tu, prudaktvena, to be really different. No rajasic knowledge to be that by which one sees the apparently different and many jivas in all beings to be really different. No rajasic knowledge to be that by which one sees apparently different and many jivas in all beings to be different. Rajasic knowledge is intermediary one. This person does not take the body as himself. So, there is a slight progress. He is not Charvaka. Charvaka is a materialistic philosopher who looks upon the body as himself. Such people will not believe in punyam or papam. So, you cannot frighten them. That if you do adharma, you will go to hell. You cannot say, because he will ask, who believes in hell? So it is very difficult to talk to a materialistic person because he does not believe in punyam or papam. He does not believe in swargam or naraka. Very difficult. Whereas this person believes in surviving mind. He has progressed from body to mind. When he comes to the mind, he is going to claim that I am karta bhokta. Because the mind has capacity to do. It has got a willpower. Therefore, it becomes a karta bhokta. Once I identify the mind, there are many minds, therefore I am in Dvaitam only. Even though I have progressed, but still I am in Dvaitam. Previously, I said there are many bodies. Now I say there are many minds. And the only difference is, and that is the only difference. Therefore, Paramatma says, et jnanam, that knowledge by which pridagvidan nana bhavan, one knows and accepts many and varied jivatmas. So, bhava here means jivas, nana bhavas means many jivas, not based on the body, but based on the mind, many minds. So, Nana Jivan, each Jiva is different from another. One has got more punyam, another Jiva has got more papam, another Jiva has got 50-50 punyam and papam. So, that's how we see Nana Bhavan, Prudagvidan Vetti. So, may you understand they are all different. where sarva bhuteshu, in every physical body. So the Sankhya philosopher talks about plurality of jiva. Even Nyaya philosopher talks about the plurality of jivas. So it is because they have mistaken the mind as ourselves. And tat jnanam, such jnanam is rajasam vidhi. Rajasic knowledge. Now, what is tamasic knowledge? Krishna tells in the 22nd verse, which we will read now. Yattu krutsnavade kasmin karye saktamahaitukam atatvarthavadal pancha tattamasamudahrutam. Tamasam, tamasic knowledge. Udattam tat is said to be that. Yet tu saktam, which is attached. Ekasmin karye, to the individual body. Krutsnavat. Krutsnavat means as though it is whole. Ahaitukam, which is unreasonable. Atatvardha vadalpam, untruthful. Alpam, petty and inferior. Tamasic knowledge is said to be that which is attached to the individual body, as though it is its whole, which is unreasonable, untruthful, petty and inferior knowledge. So the third type of knowledge is held by an utterly materialistic person, and therefore he accepts the physical body only. He does not believe even in mind other than the brain, and therefore his vision, when a body dies, that is the end of the individual. And if you argue this is the only external vesture behind the body, there is some jiva, you may call it sukshma sariram, astral body. When we talk about jivas traveling, this person asks, where is the proof? Isn't it a blind belief? So he says, if I have to accept, you should show that to the sense organs. So the conclusion of materialist is, he believes only in the sense organs, and whatever is not available to the sense organs, he does not believe. And we cannot do anything with those people because the subtle body cannot be shown to the sense organs. That is why somebody wanted to know the weight of the soul, and therefore he wanted to take the weight of the individual before death, the weight of the individual after death. Whatever the reduction in the weight must be the weight of the soul. The scientific experiment, they found the weight increases after the death. So what happens? The soul must have a negative weight. The Shastra very clearly says there are certain things in the creation which are not available for sense organs. Aprameyam. They are not available for jnanendriyas to measure. So, as I have said before, imagine a person who has got 4 sense organs and he does not have the eye. He is a blind person. So, supposing you tell that there are colors and forms in the world which can be known only through the 5th sense organ called the eye, the person says, no, I don't accept. If I have to accept colors and forms, you should prove it through the other 4 organs which I have got. I will use my ear, I will use my hand, I will use my tongue, like that. It is not possible for you to show him. So like that, the Shastra says, there is a 6th organ, the 6th indriya called Sabda Pramanam, by which you can understand this Vedantic knowledge. Only by the Sabda Pramanam and through Guru, you can understand these things. So we never listen to it. Veda tells, I am here to teach you things which are not available for sense organs. And this fellow says, I will accept that if you show that to the sense organs. What to say? The very definition of Veda is the sixth sense organ. And what is available for the Veda will not be available for the five sense organs, Jnanendriyas. In fact, what is available for the eyes will not be available for the other four organs. What is available for the ears will not be available for other four organs. So what is the definition of a sense organ? Sense organ is that which reveals, sense organ is that which reveals a unique thing which is not available for other sense organs. Without understanding this, the materialistic persons argue Sushma Shariram is not available for sense organs, not available for scientific experimentation. Therefore, nobody survives. Therefore, our forefathers are going to different lokas. They are all cock and bull stories according to the scientists. I do not believe in Sraddham. I do not believe in Tarpanam. They are all hodgepodge. Paramatma says, better do not argue with them. Their problem is that they do not know that there is a sense organ other than the five Jnanendriyas. This topic is called epistemology. Therefore, Veda says such persons do not know. They will simply ask for proof. They will ask for proof. They do not understand. Therefore, they are called tamasic person. He wants to see something through their sense organs, five Jnanendriyas, for which the Vedantic knowledge is not available, for which the Chaitanyam is not available. What to tell him? I want to see the sound through the eyes. Is it possible? No. Therefore, he says, Et Jnanam, this knowledge, which identifies with only the physical body, which identifies here as a karyam, the stula sariram. Very carefully note in this sloka, the word karyam refers to the gross body. That materialistic knowledge which identifies the gross body, Krishnavat, as though that is the total body. That is the complete personality. Shastra says the body is the most superficial layer of the personality. Shastra says the body is the most superficial layer of your personality. That is called Annamaya Kosham, the superficial layer. That is taken as ultimate by these tamasic people. And they do not know there are other four koshas like Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. So he doesn't care to understand this. When he is going to come to Atma, so never argue with a materialistic person about Atma, Chaitanyam and all that. We can only say, you be happy with whatever the knowledge you have. I will go by what I consider as the source of knowledge. Karye saktam ahetukam, which does not have any logic. So materialistic people are most illogical persons. They say pratyaksha alone is pramanam. The means of knowledge, they cannot believe even their back. That's what our Swamiji or Puja Swamiji humorously says. He cannot see his back throughout his life. So that is the thing. Then talking about the second aspect, the karma, now we are going to enter into the three types of karma. The first type of karma is sattvic karma, tamasic karma, and rajasic karma. The sattvic karma, rajasic karma, tamasic karma, they are explained in three different slokas. 23rd talks about the sattvic karma, 24th the rajasic karma, and 25th the tamasic karma. So we try to understand this. नियतं संगरहितं अरागद्वेषतकृतं अफलप्रेप्सुना कर्म यत्तत् सात्विकमुच्यते. Satvikam, the sattvic action, karma uchyate tat, it is said to be that yat nityam, which is obligatory, sangarahitam, without having any attachment, krutam, which is performed, aragadvesha taha, without likes and dislikes, afala prepsuna, by one which is not desirous of result. Sattvic action is said to be that which is obligatory, which is devoid of attachment, and which is performed without likes and dislikes by one who is not desirous of the result. What do you mean by sattvic karma? Paramatma says, Nityam karma sattvikam. Nityam karma means a specially prescribed action in the scriptures. Nityam means specially prescribed. What do you mean by specially prescribed action? The scriptures prescribe certain special actions exclusively for the sake of spiritual growth, exclusively for the sake of inner maturity, exclusively for the sake of developing the values. We have seen in the 16th chapter the self-knowledge is possible only in a mind which enjoys the value of life. Values were enlisted as Daivi Sampatti in 16th chapter. In 13th chapter also we have seen some value system. So a person who is having this value system alone can understand the sattvic karma, and he alone can do sattvic karma. So only when such values are there, the mind is fertile for the Atma Jnanam crop. For different types of crop, you need different types of soil. The soil must be conducive. Coffee or tea cannot be grown in Madras. Similarly, for every crop, you require a particular soil. In the same way, in order to build, in order to understand Atma Jnanam, you need a particular type of mind, which is having Chitta Suddhi and Chitta Vaisalyata. So similarly, the mind requires a particular type of condition, which was enumerated as Daivi Sampatti, Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya. All values can be developed. If a person performs those specifically prescribed karmas, they are all sattvic karmani. They are called nitya naimittika karmani. They are called vihita karmani. They are called chodaka karmani. Chodaka means purifying karmas. They are not meant for giving any worldly or materialistic benefits. They are specifically designed for inner growth. If a person is interested in materialistic benefit, scriptures do not prescribe special activities for those benefits also. We have got an Avahanti Homam, which we have studied in Taittiriya Upanishad Sikshavali. It is a special homa for getting money. The scriptures do prescribe rituals and activities for materialistic benefits, and same scriptures do prescribe for inner growth also. That inner growth oriented karmas are called nitya karmani. And what are they? We have elaborately studied them in the 3rd chapter of Gita. This is supposed to be a summary. So this only just reminds you. What are those karmas? I will only remind you. Pancha Mahayajnas. They are all karmas in which you contribute to the society at large. They are such activities, my very living upon the earth will become beneficial to the others. Whether I was living beneficially to the others Or have I been a sheer burden on the Mother Earth and the society? So the greater my life is beneficial to the others, the greater will be the purity. And the society was divided into 5 segments. And the contributions to each segment we call one yajna and Panchamaha yajnas were mentioned. All of them will come under Nitya Karmani. They will purify the mind quickly and therefore Nityam. Then next condition for Sattvic Karma is Sangarahitam. Even the person does the noble karma, even when a person does the noble karmas, Sattvic karmas, service type karmas, contributory type karmas, one should remember that karma or action is not an end in itself. Our ultimate aim is systematic Vedantic study. One should not forget that. The service to the society is wonderful. But that is not an end in itself. Because when a person serves the society, no doubt he purifies the mind. But he does not have an opportunity to learn about the real nature of oneself. And therefore, one has to come to the systematic study of Vedanta. Vedanta Sravana Manana Nididhyasanam, like you are all doing now. Therefore, if a person is service oriented, Paramatma says you serve and serve and serve. In due course, you should learn to withdraw it also gradually. Learn to spend more time in the self-inquiry. Therefore, do not fall in love with karma. Use karma to purify yourself. For Chitta Suddhi, you can use karma. Gradually reduce the karma. Therefore, Sangarahitam, not getting attached, not getting glued up with rituals. Therefore, many ritualistic people, they are great after all. All rituals are wonderful, but they never come to Vedanta. They die ritualistic only. Therefore, Krishna Paramatma is warning, you should know how to transcend. That is called Sangarahitam. Then next condition is for Sattvic Karma, Aragadveshataha Krutam. So these Sattvic Karmas are performed without Ragadvesha. Without Ragadvesha means without any worldly motive. These karmas are not done by changing the external world. The difference between Sattvic Karma and Rajasic Karma is Rajasic Karma, I want to gain happiness by changing the setup. My philosophy is, if I change the setup, I will be happier. If I change the family, if I change the family member, I will be happier. Many people invite Swamiji to give advice to their family members. They do not want to change. They are sure they are perfect. So, if we tell, they will not listen. Therefore, Swamiji, you advise them. In fact, that is fundamental difficulty for all Vedanta. Therefore, Ragadvesha oriented karma is Rajasa karma. Rajasa karma is based on fundamental misconception that my improvement is based on change of surroundings. Whereas Sattvic karma is based on fundamental philosophy. Happiness depends upon transforming myself, my knowledge, my attitude towards myself, my attitude towards the world. Because the world cannot be changed by us. And in fact, when we are trying to change the world, the others are busy trying to change us. And therefore, Krishna says, Karma Yogi is interested in transforming myself. He does not have a complaint against the setup. And if at all he has a complaint, the complaint is against whom? There is some problem with me. The problem lies in me. Swami Dayananda Saraswati ji says, Problem is you, solution is you. Karma Yogi wants to transform inwardly. Raga Dveshataha Kritam. It is based on Raga Dvesha with regard to the setup. Therefore, Alpa Prepsuna. Alpa Prepsuna means he is not having any expectation of any external. He doesn't have any kind of expectation of the external benefit. What he expects, if at all there is any expectation, it is only the self-transformation. Jnana Yogyata Prapti. But he does not have any external materialistic expectation. Even though the scriptures promise Karma Yoga will bring certain worldly benefits also, as a byproduct, Karma Yoga is supposed to bring worldly benefits also as a byproduct. But a Karma Yogi should not aim at that byproduct. If you want to aim at a byproduct, you will no more be getting that byproduct. It will become the main thing. If you aim at the byproduct, it will no more be a byproduct, it will become the main thing. Therefore, Alpa Prepsuna, the first byproduct is better health. Karma Yogi will have better health. In fact, doctors are prescribing Karma Yoga for heart patients without naming it as Karma Yoga. They say take life easily. Do not have too much of stress or strain. Then it will increase your blood pressure. Then you will require another bypass, they will say. You will have problems. Therefore, you keep yourself in a relaxed mode. So what is that? Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is Karma Yoga in another name. But they prescribe for what? For preventing heart attack, for better health. Reduction of chances of heart attack is byproduct of Karma Yoga. Therefore, Alpa Prepsu, it is done by a person who is not having any ragam, who is not having any kind of attraction towards doing more and more karma. So, Sattvika Karmani is talked about. Sattvika Karma is done by a person who is not desirous of material result. So, Yat Tat Karma, such action is called Sattvika Karma. And this is possible only when a person is sufficiently enlightened to understand that problem is only with me. That requires to become a Karma Yogi itself. A person requires fundamental understanding that problem is not with the world. The problem is with me. Therefore, the change required is not outside. Like a person repeatedly falling sick, let us discuss the problem is my immunity is less. And therefore, immunize yourself is the solution that is required. Karma Yogi is reasonably enlightened. So, we will continue this in the next class. Om Tat Sat Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.